I had a bad incident.
Okay.
Okay, so I've quit my job 3 times.
3 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
This is in 2014 or like which?
No, now
what's the time from now?
okay, finished campus in 2016. Got my job, that first
Okay,
job,
the
worked
first
there
one.
for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Quit because I wanted to do Zia.
Okay.
But then now you quit and then you can't tell your folks like I've quit because I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
So I quit and I was like, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to tell anyone.
Mm.
So after I quit, my dad helped me get another job.
Wow.
Hello, champions. Welcome back to the Chpter Champions podcast. Super excited about today. And on this series, we're bringing you the best entrepreneurs and e-commerce experts who will tell us about their journeys, how they got to build brilliant businesses. And today we have none other than Zia, who's the founder and CEO of Zia. She is in the fashion industry, and she works with women, helping them feel really good about themselves through fashion. Yeah, and we can't wait to hear your story. It's already episode 8, guys. So the last couple of weeks have been really, really awesome. And we look forward to more. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. This is awesome.
It's
Mark.
nice to have you. So, Zia from Zia.
Zia from Zia, yeah.
So yeah, we usually just begin. Our first question is really like super simple, but hard at the same time. So like, who is Zia? And like, if you were to just paint that journey, that story, what's your story?
Okay. That's always a difficult question because Zia is many things, and there's Zia the brand and Zia me. But Zia me, I am a passion, self-driven entrepreneur. I have been in the fashion industry for about 10 years now, going on 11.
Wow.
I'm also a mom. I'm a wife. I am currently loving life and taking it in stride. Yeah.
That's dope. So 10 years in fashion and 10 years in business is like a huge achievement. I
Yeah.
think this probably takes you back to like the 2012s, 2013s or
Right.
something. So
Yeah.
like, how did you make that leap into, okay, I'm going to start my own business? What was that like?
So Zia was born out of a need I saw in the market. I happened to travel. My sister lives in Australia, and I
Okay.
went there and I just saw the fashion market. There was so much variety. The quality was good. And at that time, there was no online business at the time. So I was like, why don't I try bringing in some clothes from there
Okay.
and seeing how they do in the Kenyan market. So with my sister, we sat on a desktop computer,
Okay.
opened a Facebook page, and then I
Jeez.
named it Zia because I thought my friends would follow it if it's named after me.
Oh gosh. At least.
Literally, that was the
That's
thought
like-
process. So it was actually Zia collection at that time. Yeah. So there were no borders.
Okay.
I used to sit at Nakumatt UK every Saturday with my
Oh.
dresses or tights. Guys will try on in the bathroom. If it fits them, they pay and
Wow.
go. If they don't, I just go back with my clothes.
So you set up like a stand or
No,
where in
just
UK?
sitting like in the food court. So
Oh,
I'd just be
okay.
like, I'm wearing a pink top and a blue
Wow.
jeans. Because there's not even WhatsApp. All there was Facebook. So you just tell them from 1 to 3, I will be at Nakumatt UK sitting at the food court.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year is this?
This is 2013. 2013,
And you were
July.
a student in 2013.
Yes, so I was a first-year student at Daystar University. That's what I used to do on my Saturdays, and I would convince my friends or bribe them with a soda. So I'd be like, just come and sit with me. It's only 2 hours. You like Zubaisha me until, yeah. 3
And
p.m.
why? Like
Yeah.
you were in the first year of campus.
Yeah.
You're not trying to find school fees.
Yeah.
Or
Fortunately,
why?
I was not trying to find school fees, but I think I've always been a hustler. When I look back, I was always interested in business. When I was 10, I started selling popcorn outside our house. No one ever bought, by the way. But the thought of it
Was there.
And I remember always telling my dad, I can do this if you pay me. Yeah. So I think I always was a hustler, and I'd look for opportunities to make money.
I see. And do you feel this influence came from somewhere, like from your folks or from your older siblings, or like just guys you saw on TV, or like I want to be like that person? Like, what do you think it like?
I think I saw my dad doing many different things. I also saw him being a risk taker.
Okay.
And he was the first one to come to Nairobi from his family.
I see.
Yeah, so he was really, really driven throughout my life. And I happen to love fashion as well.
Okay.
I loved fashion. I loved styling my sisters. I loved styling my mom. I would always know what's trending or what's the current thing. So I think it was something that came easy.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Interesting.
And now this 2013, so your first day in Daystar.
Yeah.
You have a stand on Saturdays where you invite your friends to like keep you company. They get a soda and like at least there's someone in the stand. So do you remember like your first sale, like that one sale, you're like, damn, this.
I do. And let me tell you one of the mistakes I made. We priced them terribly.
Okay.
We priced very low. So that first shipment, we made 0 bob.
Oh,
okay.
gosh.
So I've come with them from Australia. Actually, we sent them. And then we're thinking if we keep the original tag, because we got them on sale.
Okay.
If we keep the original tag, the customers will think that this piece is worth $40 when you bought them for $5. And you're getting it at $10.
Okay.
But now KRA, who is KRA?
Oh, gosh.
Was slapped with some other clearing fees. I
Oh,
was literally
no.
crying, like, guys, please, I promise I didn't buy them at that price. Like, I can show you the receipts, blah, blah, blah. So after that whole situation, we learned, first of all, you need to account for importing fees and clearing fees and how to price right. Yeah.
So basically the shipment came and then did you now sell it the exact price you got it for?
I did, because now we had asked guys to pre-order.
Oh, gosh. Oh, so they were already committed.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
They'd already committed. So that one was already gone. We made a loss. And I sold a pair of tights. That was the first sale I made, and it was to a friend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did a lot of this go to your friends, or it was already through Facebook?
So actually, now imagine when we opened the Facebook page, we got 500 followers that first night, which was incredible.
Yeah.
Actually, it was likes at that time, 500 likes. So everyone was excited, like, oh, like, what are you guys doing? What do you have? And then we took the pictures with my sister, and people supported because we were selling them so cheap.
Okay. For the quality.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
When I
gosh.
look back, that was crazy.
And like, what, I think even that time, like, to think, let me start a business and let me go to Facebook. Like, what do you think informed that? And I remember that time was desktop.
Yeah.
So like, that was
When I look back, my elder sister also had a business acumen, but till, unfortunately, she passed away. But she always wanted to start something, but never would. So she wanted to start a jewelry business.
Okay.
And her idea was start it on Facebook, but she never started it. So I said, let me just try and start it and see what happens. So actually, when I started it, she was pissed because she's like, you took my idea.
You took my dream. You ran away with my dream.
Sibling rivalry.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. That's super interesting.
Yeah.
So now first year, you've kind of got into the motion of it. So I assume after that first shipment was done, you continued importing more.
Yeah, so I continued importing and obviously increased the prices.
Okay.
Eventually now when we started getting we started growing, I started shipping from China.
Okay.
So that at that point, we're able to put our own tags. We're able to have a say on the quality we wanted and the styles that we wanted. Only that the minimum order quantity was 50 pieces of one piece. So if it's that black turtleneck, 50 of them.
Okay.
So now that became the headache. And influencing and blogging had started coming up.
I see.
So luckily, this is us liked the brand, and she was our first ever influencer.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and she wore this one pink dress, and immediately it sold out.
Oh gosh.
And then it seemed possible. Like, okay, this thing is kind of working, and it's fun. Yeah.
By the time this is picks this up, you're still in campus, or this is like how many years
I'm
later?
still in campus. That's 2014.
Okay.
So now I'm in second year. Yeah, third year.
Okay. What was that evolution through campus? And how did you manage to run a business while in campus? I missed a lot of classes because of that. But how's the experience for you?
Funny enough, I somehow, okay, actually I had a very good support system. So my mom, I was living at home. My mom, by that time I think WhatsApp had come up.
Okay.
So I would send her an order list of what to pack. If my mom is not home, I'd send the house girl.
Oh gosh.
She didn't have WhatsApp, but I'd just explain ile nguo ya black yenye iko na mkono moja.
Yeah, oh gosh.
Yeah. So they were supportive when I was at school. At least I'd set that in the morning. And then now there were still no borders. I had a messenger.
Oh,
So the
damn.
messenger would come and collect them and take a matatu to every different location.
Oh, gosh.
So imagine now I'm living on Gong Road, he'd go to Karen, then another one in Westfield, then Runda. It was wild.
You know, it's crazy to imagine how far we've come. Like, deliveries are being done by Matt.
Imagine.
Yeah, that's just 10
That's
years ago.
insane.
Because Bet of
Exactly.
Papink told us exactly the
Exact same thing.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go around in a matatu.
Yeah.
So this is interesting.
It's crazy because that's all we knew. And it just seemed like, okay, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now you successfully made your parents, your siblings, your employees.
I did.
So I'm curious, what were their thoughts? Or like, is it Zia's thing? Or like, hey, this thing could actually be big? Like, what were their thoughts that time?
I think maybe up until last year, they thought it was a hobby. They were sure this is just like a hobby, and they were supportive of it being that, like a hobby that I like to do on the side. Yeah. But as I grew, because I was employed. Now, after I finished campus, obviously the right thing to do is get a job.
Yeah.
I got a job while I was, I think, in my last semester. So when I got that job, I was like, I really don't like it here. Like, I really don't understand like why they are so closed-minded. That's what I was thinking. They were not open to my ideas, even if I was a newbie, but I was very, excited and ready to work. I also would still sell Zia on the side.
Oh, okay.
So I knew I have this passion that's working, but if I tell my dad, Yani, I've gone to school and this is what I want to do, he's gonna be like...
So was that your biggest concern? Because
I think that was my biggest concern.
Entrepreneurship is not a job.
Yeah.
It's like if you're an entrepreneur, you're asked after kazi siku gani.
You know, like the crazy thing is, it's one thing to even want to be an entrepreneur, but a fashion entrepreneur, like how are you gonna pay the rent?
Yes.
You know, so I think that was my biggest fear for sure. I kept thinking like he's gonna feel disappointed, and I seem to have a promising career.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was also dropping the ball in my potential.
Study, by the way?
Community development.
Okay.
But I got a good job at an NGO.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Which was promising.
I see.
I was already a program coordinator. My boss was like, if you continue like this, you'll be a program manager. I was like, okay, I guess this is my
then you could see the track product director and
exactly.
etc. What made you believe that you could make that leap? What gave you the courage?
I had a bad incident.
Okay.
Okay, so I've quit my job 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is in 2014 or like which?
No, now, okay, finished campus in 2016. Got my job, that first job, worked there for 6 months. Quit because I wanted to do Zia.
Okay.
But then now you quit and then you can't tell your folks, like, I've quit because I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
So I quit and I was like, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to tell anyone. So after I quit, my dad helped me get another job.
Wow. Okay.
So I was in that job and I was there for 2 years till 2018.
Okay.
But I kept thinking like, this is not it. Like, there's this article I read where you're like, you don't know the next step, but not this.
Yeah, you're sure it's not this.
I was sure it was not this. So I quit that time. Then I told my dad, like, I want to do Zia full time and I want to open a store, blah, blah, blah. But now he convinced me I can do that while I work. So I got a job, a third job. So during that third job is when I realized I'd rather have no money than be employed. And luckily I had the support of my husband, and this was during COVID actually.
Okay.
So for Zia, our breakthrough moment was COVID. Even if I was in business for 10 years,
okay.
No, by that time it was like 7 years.
Okay.
We only started making sense during COVID because digital now was a thing. I had built my e-commerce website. I had built a good customer base now over the years. Guys had trusted us. And then I also had transitioned to made in Kenya because importing was no longer possible.
Oh gosh, that's super interesting.
Yeah.
That forced you also
That
to
forced
think
me also
different.
to do that, which is something I had wanted to do for a long time.
Nice.
So that was my breakthrough year, and I'm so glad I took that leap. Wah! Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think like there's something interesting that's coming out, which is like the sheer willpower to go back to Zia despite all this
know.
things. So like I'm just curious, like what did you feel kept on pulling you back? Is it the passion for fashion? Is it the passion to be independent, building a business? Do you know what that is?
I think it was the potential I could see in Zia. I used to wake up in the morning and, the DMs are full. Just I maybe I was not able to meet the demand at that time.
Okay.
I knew like celebrities are wearing our clothes, which meant, and I was not looking for them. They were just coming. So that also showed me there was potential. And then I happened to do a business course.
Okay.
Where my now mentor just kind of helped me clarify or align my thoughts and what I'm trying to build.
Okay.
And at that time, I was not bringing in those big shipments.
Okay.
But she told me, like, why don't you try bringing 100 pieces of one dress?
Okay.
And I was like, how am I going to sell 100 pieces of one dress?
Yeah.
And she's like, you're trying to tell me you can't find 100 ladies in Nairobi to dress? And that opened up my mind. I was like, okay, now let me do the math. If I sell 1,000,
this is
So for me, I think that having that encounter with my now mentor and business coach was a great eye-opener for me. That this fashion thing doesn't have to be a side hustle, like a thing you do on the side. It can be your main hustle and you can make money from it. Yeah.
Wow, that's super interesting. That's super interesting. I think even sometimes we're having conversations with Stash, and there's this thing on mentorship. We realize like you can't go about life blindly. You need someone to show you the way. At least doesn't take you 5 years to realize something you could have learned in like a meeting. So like what like pulled you to even like seek out for this mentor? Like how has that also transformed like how you think?
I think at the point when I wanted to quit my job the last time, I was thinking of areas of improvement. I'm a firm believer in always seeking knowledge.
Okay.
And understanding your purpose, understanding the business side, and also your impact. Remember, my background is in development. So at the end of the day, I knew I wanted to empower women, and I knew that I wanted to make a difference. Yeah. I just didn't know the how. So having the mentor and the coach, he helped me just make my thoughts make sense and also create a plan for me to scale sustainably.
I see.
Yeah. So she put for me even targets like 15% month on month growth. Wow. Which is something I didn't even have targets. I just used to, it's just like a
doing
thing.
the business.
Sell and go. Yeah.
Wow.
So that really, was nice.
Yeah, that's really important. I think something comes to mind from your last point, which is like you can't improve what you don't measure.
Yeah.
So I think for business people, it's very important to just set targets. And if you can set targets even weekly rather than monthly or annually, at least it becomes much more reachable, right? And I'm sure you've seen so much growth since then.
Yeah.
And then another thing that comes from what you're saying is mentors help you become or see the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
Because it's really hard to look in the mirror and see your shortfall and all that. But a mentor will just push you to achieve the best, right? So that's really cool. How was the journey moving from importing to starting to make your own? Because now I can imagine you're dealing with fundis. It's just, and the world has changed also, the delivery and everything. How has the business evolved?
First, let me just apologize to anyone who ordered from us in the years 2020 and 2021. We've had a lot of moments of learning. Now, you see, moving from importing to having your own workshop and dealing with tailors and all that means sometimes you're going to disappoint clients because these people can show you things.
Can show you things.
Some things you can't even believe that went out. It's crazy. But it was really good in terms of control of quality, which is something I was really adamant about. I wanted to be able to control the quality that we put out. And I now had to build a team. At the time, from 2013 till 2020, I didn't have a team. I was just a one-man show. Now I'm building. Now we're 15 employees.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a team of 15.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so building the team now has been the challenge. Getting the right talent, getting people who believe in your vision, people who believe too in the brand and like it and will put the work needed to make the brand grow to where it can grow to. So that transition was tough. It was tough. It was really, really tough. But I'm thankful for that because I think if we didn't go through that, I would not be able, let's say, I don't know if I would be, but the way I'm able to take things in stride now is because the things that we went through, even during like the elections, we didn't have any sales during elections. That was 2022. So imagine you have employees looking at you, you have rent to pay, no one is buying. No one is buying. And your business has been making sense, but all of a sudden you have no idea where you're going to get payroll. You don't know like whether you're even going to survive this situation. But being able to overcome that and even being able to open a store now at Village Market and we're hoping to open another one and another one. So it just shows you that business is all about tenacity and grit. So I think once you know those two things and understand them, then nothing can really faze you.
Damn, I think it's usually a very hard transition from like one-man show to like a team. Because now it's like, and it usually comes about when you're like, you can't replicate yourself and do everything. So you need like people to like help you. So I'm just curious, like in that transition, like from maybe Zia 1.0 to Zia 2.0, it was like one of the hardest days in this new Zia where you had a team, 15 people. Like one day you remember, you were like, wow, that day, like this was very difficult, but you, of course, like overcame it.
I'd like to say at that moment, when elections were happening, it was a really low financial point for us, where you've gone through all your savings, you've dipped into your own pockets, there's nothing. And I had to lay off 2 tailors. One design assistant, one tailor. And that was so difficult, so difficult because this is someone's livelihood. So I think as a business owner, you never want to reach that point. I'm sure you can relate.
It's the hardest thing.
It's the hardest thing.
It's
So I think that was my biggest challenge. And everything else, I think that I'd like to say just that.
Okay. That's super, it's super moving. And like just coming on to this other side, usually say like, entrepreneurship is like one day it's a super high, another day it's a super low. So like post now election, like what day can you say this day just told me like Zia is going to conquer Africa or something?
Zia is going to conquer?
Africa or something, like you got that
like
feeling.
A day I was like, this is it. I think when we transitioned into a sustainable fashion brand, it felt so right. It was like, why didn't I do this all along? Like, this makes sense. This makes sense. We need to reduce our carbon footprint. We need to reduce our impact on the environment. We can make beautiful things with our offcuts. That was also an aha moment. And it also set us apart. It carved us, like, I believe that the market is never too saturated. And as a fashion brand, you can tend to think, there's enough brands there. But once I moved into sustainable fashion, I felt like I'm carving my own niche to the T. And being able to also design my own print. I don't know if you know, we have our own
I've seen the
signature print.
I love it.
We are the
really
first
cool
brand in Kenya.
Oh, really?
With our own signature print. So that was all during that sustainability season.
Okay.
And I feel like if I didn't transition towards being a sustainable brand, I wouldn't even know that's a possibility.
Okay.
Because it was through visiting a factory, a cotton factory. They're like, by the way, you
wow.
print. I'm like, so can I bring your design and you print? They're like, yeah.
Gosh.
What?
Oh, damn.
I'm never.
In what
like,
country is this?
Yeah, Kenya.
Oh, wow.
In Kenya.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, all in Kenya. The cotton we use, even this is grown locally,
Oh, wow.
sourced locally by
So
local
this is
farmers.
this
yes,
is Zia.
Yes, this
So
is
do
Zia.
you rock Zia every day?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
All right. It's the first thing I
do.
noticed when I saw you. I was like, oh, that looks really cool and unique
Thank you.
as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, it's very nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's super cool. And like this sustainability direction, has that opened up Zia's market? Like, do you now do like Kenya and beyond?
Yeah, we have been shipping globally, but I think positioning ourselves as a sustainable brand has brought us new customers.
Okay.
For sure, we've acquired new customers. We've also been able to educate our current customers a lot. We've been creating a lot of awareness on the importance of sustainable fashion,
Yeah.
the importance of knowing who made your clothes and where were they made.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where the industry is going to go eventually.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Like, please tell us, like you're telling nursery school
Okay.
kid,
Okay.
what is sustainable fashion?
Okay. So sustainable fashion is simply fashion that is mindful of the environment. And this can be in many ways. It can be making sure your workers are fairly paid. That's sustainable.
Okay.
Making sure that your garments are organic, maybe grown locally or grown from the ground and can biodegrade easily. Another way you can look at sustainable fashion is reducing your waste.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like for us now, we're zero waste, meaning we utilize every inch of fabric that we can possible. Like what you bought for your
My family.
sons.
Yeah.
That's we have a baby line which was made from the offcuts of our dresses.
I see.
Yeah.
So what's used to make, for example, what you're wearing now? What's left you can reuse for?
Now those are the
something
offcuts.
else.
So initially we used to have like a huge, like this carpet worth of waste
Okay.
being taken every day, and those just end up in landfills. But now, because we're making bows, we're making dahlia baby clothes, we're making scrunchies, just trying belts, scarves, anything to make sure that it lasts as long as possible before it goes to the landfill.
I see.
That's very cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. So I have a bit of a controversial question.
Okay.
Especially for somebody who's looking to grow like you. You started and built a very big brand online.
Yeah.
And then you set up your first physical store.
Yeah.
So the question is online versus offline. Why is a physical store important?
Yeah.
Yet we all say the world is moving online. At least in your experience.
A physical store is important, particularly in the Kenyan market or African market, because most women don't know their size. So that's something we discovered over the years. People always ask, like, I don't know, over here at the top I'm this, at the bottom I'm this. So it allows for our customers to come in store, fit the clothes directly, and be comfortable shopping. Even if they shop online, at least now they even know their sizing. It's also a chance for our customers to interact with the brand and just get a feel of, our vibe and what we're about. And these days it's click and mortar. Yeah. So
click and mortar.
Wow, that's a good one.
So it's an additional revenue stream. I can't say that we used to get that we had the money that we get now from Village Market before we opened Village Market. Yeah, so it's an additional revenue stream as well.
I see.
Yeah,
and I follow on to that choice of
location.
Yeah.
I've gotten that question a lot, actually. And for me, I wanted to position us as a sustainable fashion brand and position us in a mall that celebrates that.
Okay.
Yeah. So Village Market has several made in Kenya brands. It supports women in business. It's a great location as well because many tourists pass there. So for us, we're just positioning ourselves in the right mall that aligns with our brand and our values.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
The next store, is it going to be Nairobi? Well, that's just
We can wait and see.
okay. Cool. We look forward.
Yeah,
I see.
maybe.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're like really passionate and when you talk about the brand, which is
Yeah.
like really cool to see. So I'm just
am.
what have you been hearing like 10 years in fashion from like when you were importing and now it's made in Kenya. So like
Yeah.
what sort of feedback are you also hearing from your customers in terms of how they perceive Zia, how it's changed their lives? It's same also to some of your
Yeah.
employees.
For our customers, I can say for a fact they love how our dresses make them feel.
Okay.
The compliment we always get is, this makes me feel so elegant, so classy, so beautiful. So that's always a great feeling to be able to share with fellow women. And for my employees, we're a really close team.
Okay.
And majorly women, so 90% women, we only have 2 men.
Okay.
And I think for them, it's just being able to create, be able to be in an environment where women are supported, they're celebrated, there's fair wages for everyone. So I think for the employees, I'd like to say we've made an impact, even in educating them on the importance of sustainable fashion. Yeah. So it's been awesome.
I see.
Yeah.
I have a hard question coming up, like Tesh's. So, say you were an investor and you had like $5 million to deploy,
Yeah.
and Zia lands at your desk. So, would you make that investment?
Yes.
How much would it be, and like, what did you say they would need to do with it?
How much would I invest in Zia?
Yes, and
That's a tough question.
yeah,
And why?
And why?
yeah.
I can't say how much,
Okay.
but I would invest in Zia for the simple fact that it's a very scalable business. We are creating employment. Manufacturing actually creates a lot of employment. So just for the ability, we can literally employ 1,000 tailors if possible.
Yeah.
And the demand that we have is, I can't even, I can't right now.
Quantify.
Yeah, I can't even quantify.
Yeah.
So, and I also think the potential that we have is infinite. So, for that reason, I would invest in Zia. I can't
see.
say how much.
Yeah.
I would say all of it, but I'm not saying all of it.
But the job creation and the infinite potential is like something which
and we are women-owned business. We employ women, we empower women. Yeah.
Awesome.
Do you have 5 million? You give me real quick.
Well, we're going to start a fund with Tesh in the next few years.
Oh, don't forget about me.
Of course. Day ones. Yeah. Awesome. So before we go into like tips for entrepreneurs, I'm sure there are many young ladies looking at you and saying, when I grow up, I want to be like Zia. So what's your favorite fashion brand globally and why?
Okay. My favorite, I don't have one.
Yeah. Can tell us
but top three. Top three. Zia of God, House of CB, and Kai Collective. It's owned by a Nigerian.
Oh,
why?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Why those ones?
Three?
Yeah.
Zia of God, I really appreciate the creative flair Jerry Lorenzo has. Yeah, he's not afraid. And I feel like sometimes in fashion, there is a bit of a, what the customers want versus what you would like to create.
Okay.
So finding that balance is always difficult. But every time I see his designs and collections, I'm like, it just looks like what he likes. And it's like, if you guys like it, cool. And people vibe
He's
with
very
that.
bold and like he's
very bold, and not afraid to break those barriers.
rules.
Yeah, exactly. For House of CB, Connor Walker was on Forbes before she turned 30.
Okay.
She now has, I think, maybe 20, or I don't know how many stores she has, but she's really built her online presence over so many years. Now is when she started building her motor stores.
Okay.
Yeah, and Kai Collective has also done pretty well. She's done pretty well for herself. I like that she's a risk taker.
Okay.
Nice.
Do you have any fashion brands that you like?
I mean, Not really. I'm a Nike guy, so I'm very simple.
Okay. I could see.
I like polo
Those
as
are nice.
well. Yeah, so simple.
Okay.
Adidas. I like athletic brands quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not a designer guy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately,
You're
on my
accepted
pocket.
here. Don't worry. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And Mark?
Yeah, for me, I love Adidas.
Yeah.
I think they're just so simple, just the nature of European, just clean. And for American, I love North Face. I think they just make dope. North Face, Patagonia just make dope outdoor gear.
North Face a lot.
Yeah, so I think those two, I could wear them every day. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mark is always in black for those who haven't noticed.
I know.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, you're not feeling hot.
As in it's
I'm like, are you seeing the weather outside?
yeah, it's actually really hot. Yeah.
But
Yeah, black is just, you don't have to think about what you wear. It's
know,
just black today, black tomorrow.
I like black as well.
Yeah, you too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So we move to tips.
Yeah, so we usually finish the show with tips.
Okay.
And we just noticed that today there's like someone who's thinking of starting something like Zia.
Yeah.
Or even maybe someone is out there and they're wondering like, okay, what does my day one in business look like? So perhaps you can give us like 3 or 4 tips on things you can consider when you want to start your online business.
Okay. The first tip I would give is start small.
Okay.
Start small, learn as much as you can on the job. I always say try and get as much feedback as possible from your customers, even if it's 1 or 2 customers. Just find out what they like, what they didn't like, where you can improve. That's always a good place to start. The second thing is be consistent.
Okay.
For me, like I mentioned, my breakthrough year was 2020.
Yeah.
Imagine if I gave up like in 2016
Oh, yeah.
or
It was like 8 years later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you just have to be consistent and believe in your business so much. It just has to work out. And for me, I feel like that's what got me here.
Okay.
Because many people don't push through those moments. They're just like, this thing is not working. It's just draining me. But if you push through, you definitely will be rewarded. And my last tip would be look for a mentor.
Oh, that's a good one.
Look for a mentor. It could be someone even in your family, someone you look up to, someone even within social media that you can reach out to. You never know. People are always willing to help.
Yeah.
And walk with them, and also surround yourself with like-minded individuals, friends who are high value and want you to succeed.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
That's awesome. Where can guys find your stuff?
Okay, so we're online at ziaafrica.com.
Yeah.
And we're also on Instagram at Zia Africa. And we're at the Village Market, New Wing, first floor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It was really exciting having you.
Oh,
really
it was
enjoyed
so
the
nice.
conversation. Yeah, thanks for coming through.
Yeah.
And guys, if you want to hear more amazing stories like Zia's, please subscribe to the podcast. I will have more amazing entrepreneurs coming. Yeah, and that's it for today. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was
Thank you for coming.
awesome.
So it's
I loved
amazing.
it.
Yeah.
All right. Cheers, guys.